Jimmy Kimmel Live returns to late night tonight, but millions of people still will not be able to see it. Nexstar and Sinclair, which together control about a quarter of all ABC affiliates, say they will not air the show after Disney reversed its decision to bench Kimmel. And that was because of his political commentary about Charlie Kirk's assassin and the fallout from it. The suspension has prompted protests, boycotts, and debates over free speech across the country. Let's bring in now Peter Kafka. He is chief correspondent for Business Insider. Thank you very much for joining us here, Peter, to talk about all this. First, for people who are not familiar, can you talk about why these affiliate stations aren't obligated to broadcast what the network is airing, and who holds the ultimate authority here?
It's actually a bit of a debate. The broadcast affiliates have the right in some circumstances to say they don't want to carry a particular piece of programming, usually because they feel that it somehow offends their community standards. That's different than saying on an ongoing basis, we're not going to take ABC programming. They more or less have a contract that says, we have this license, we're going to work with ABC, we are going to show what ABC shows us. Brendan Carr, who runs the FCC, has been pushing local broadcasters to push back against the folks like Disney. So a lot of this is sort of up for debate. Right now, it seems like we just sort of had this detente where, for now, Nexstar and Sinclair are just simply not going to show the Kimmel Show, and I don't know that Disney is going to do anything about that.
So what does this reinstatement mean for Disney, especially if a huge chunk of its affiliates still refuses to air the show? Can you give us just a broader picture of what's at stake here, and how does this all really play out?
There's the dollars and cents of it are, interestingly, fairly small at the moment. Jimmy Kimmel's late night show, like all late night programming, whether it's on broadcast or cable, just doesn't get that many viewers these days. It's about 1 million people a day or per show watch that show, which is not nothing, but we're certainly not talking about the Carson days of 30,
Sure.
40 years ago. On top of that, lots of people most people watch Jimmy Kimmel, who do watch Jimmy Kimmel, are watching him online in some way. They're either watching him through a streamer like Hulu, which again is not dependent on those affiliates, or most likely they're watching him the next day on clips on YouTube and TikTok. So it's hard to say that a meaningful number of people won't be able to see Jimmy Kimmel if they want to, at least tonight and the next couple of days.
That's a really interesting point. And Peter, I know that part of this conversation has also included other media companies President Trump has attacked in all this. Is there any real threat against their broadcast licenses?
In an earlier era, you'd say, no, this is not an issue where the federal government's going to remove someone's broadcast licenses. But Donald Trump has been talking about this for years in his first presidency, after he was out of the office, and now that he's back in. This time around, he's got an FCC commissioner, Brendan Carr, who seems very willing to have those discussions, or at least to hold that out as a possible stick to get media companies to do what they want. We're nowhere near that level yet, but it's part of the reason this is such an interesting story. We never thought we'd be at this place a year or two ago, where the president and his top media regulator are openly calling on ABC and the affiliates to punish a particular program and programmer.
Certainly going to be a lot of people watching tonight. Peter Kafka,
Yes.
thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.